Alright guys, so in this video what we're going to be doing is bringing you 5 of the top Middle Eastern fragrances in my collection that you will always see and always find in it. Alright, so Middle Eastern fragrances are going to be these fragrances, and they've really become a thing over the past few years as far as in collectors, as far as people who buy them. And the reason being is for two reasons. Is one, their price point, and then second is their ability to be able to capture a lot of the scent profiles of a lot of these top designer fragrances. So people mostly understand Middle Eastern fragrances, not as Middle Eastern, but a lot of these dupe houses that, you know, you talk about, you hear swirling around. And I have 5 of my favorite selections, and so we're gonna get right into it. This first one is from a brand that many people may not even realize is a Middle Eastern brand, but it actually is. And this is my favorite one from their line that they dropped in more recent years. And this one is called Rasasi Hawass Ice, okay? So Rasasi Hawass Ice is gonna take that original Rasasi Hawass DNA, and it's gonna really, in my opinion, improve it. So this is gonna have apple, it's gonna have plum, star anise, it's gonna have musk, amber, and it's also gonna have some moss, okay? So a really nice, fresh, fruity, citrusy, aquatic sort of fragrances, a little bit with some aromatic and powdery notes in there. So a really nice daily driver fragrance. To me, they took the original Hawass DNA and they made it less tart. This one's a little bit more smooth and a better kind of all-around fragrance. You can wear it for the gym, you can wear it for work, you can also wear it as kind of a day or night scent. It kind of, I think, can be worn in both occasions, but definitely a little bit better longevity, still moderate, but definitely a great choice from the brand of Rasasi. All right, now this next fragrance we're going to talk about is a fragrance that has got some inspirations of a popular niche brand in Kilian, and this is Kilian Angel Share is the fragrance that this next fragrance is going to be largely replicated by, but this one has pulled a lot of compliments for me, one of my favorites. And again, $25 to $30, you can get it on Joma Shop and most other discounts, but this fragrance here is called Lattafa's Kamra. Okay, so Lattafa Kamra is gonna have some cinnamon, it's gonna have some nutmeg, then you're gonna have some dates, praline, you're gonna have tonka bean vanilla, and you're also gonna have some benzoin and myrrh. Okay, so a really nice night out fragrance. This is definitely one that you would wear in the sort of fall, winter nights. Okay, it's gonna be a really sweet, warm, spicy, vanillic and ambery fragrance. And then that cinnamon also that is in there, while cinnamon can be one of those notes is a little bit kind of overpowering, this is actually done really smooth. This is a really nice sort of aromatic, sweet, head-turning appeal fragrance that you can get and add to your collection, and it'll only cost you less than $30, and you'll have a really nice night out fragrance in your collection. All right, now this next fragrance that we're gonna be talking about here is probably, I would dare to say, one of the top dupe fragrances that have ever been released, one of the top goated sort of dupe fragrances, but it's still, people are buying it in the droves, buying backup bottles and triple bottles, and I can see why. Definitely the amount of accuracy that it has to its original fragrance that it's inspired by, you really can't beat it. I love it. I'm about to get my second bottle, and this one is still about halfway full, but this fragrance here is gonna be called Lattafa Assad. All right, so Lattafa Assad is going to be a fragrance that is largely attributed to Dior Sauvage Elixir, and honestly, this is about 95 to almost dead on accurate, flanker. And this one here, you can get this for $30 again. So this fragrance is going to have that black pepper, it's going to have tobacco, it's going to have pineapple, it's also going to have that patchouli, coffee, iris, vanilla, and amber. So a really nice array of fragrance notes. It really does capture that sort of Sauvage Elixir DNA, and it's really gonna be a nice daily driver, but you can also wear it, again, another all season, all occasion fragrance, where if you don't want something that's so watery, citrusy, lavender, iris fresh, you can get this one. This one will be more of that fresh, spicy, that amber, that woodsy vanilla fragrance, but nonetheless, the longevity is great, scent profile is great, characteristics are great, projection is great also as well with this fragrance, which can sometimes be, one of the downsides to getting these sort of dupes, cheapies fragrances. Sometimes lasting power, the quality isn't as good. This is not the problem with this fragrance. This one, I love it. People love it. People are always giving compliments on it. So definitely get your hands on it and you won't be disappointed. All right, now this next fragrance that we're gonna be talking about is a fragrance from the brand Afnan. Afnan is, again, another one of these top Middle Eastern fragrance brands. And while I could have went with the other selection I was thinking about, I think this one, for the fact that it really combines 2 of the top designer fragrances, is why I went with this one. But this fragrance here is none other than Afnan's 9 a.m. Dive. Okay, so 9 a.m. Dive is a fragrance that is attributed to both Bleu de Chanel as well as Yves Saint Laurent Y EDP, and honestly, that is a great comparison. I think that's what this fragrance gives off, that fresh birch mixed with that apple and incense that you get from both the Bleu de Chanel mixed with the Yves Saint Laurent Y. You get that lemon, you get that mint, you get that black currant, that pepper. You're also getting the cedar, the ginger, and that patchouli and sandalwood. So a really nice, fresh daily driver fragrance that you can get for your collection. All right, it's gonna have both the fruity, the green notes, it's gonna have the woody notes, it's gonna have the warm spiciness. And put simply, if you want to be able to layer both of those fragrances without having to pay almost $300 for both Bleu de Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent Y, you can get your hands on this for $30, and this will be a great simile, a great kind of replica of what those fragrances would smell like on you. And if you still want to get both of those fragrances to have as part of your collection, you can still get them, but this would be a great trial run to see if you like those and if they are going to pull you compliments. All right, and the last fragrance for today that we're going to be talking about is, again, another one of these Lattafa fragrances. And this one here, I love it for both the scent quality and for the fact of how much you're saving if you get this one instead of the original. You really can't beat it. And this one is going to be called Lattafa's Oud for Glory. All right, Lattafa's Oud for Glory. So Lattafa Oud for Glory is a cheapie, a dupe of Inicio's Oud for Greatness. And even on discounters, as I look today, Oud for Greatness is still going for at least $315 on even discounted, and that's a discounted price, right? You can get Oud for Glory for $21, and let me tell you, this is about 90 to 95% accurate, in my opinion, in my eyes and my nose, than getting Oud for Greatness, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg largely. And that's kind of one of the reasons why this fragrance is so popular. It does give off that oud, that woods, gives off that spiciness that you really can kind of love in Middle Eastern fragrances. You get that saffron, you get that nutmeg, you get that oud, that patchouli, and that musk, all encapsulated. Great longevity, great projection, great sillage. So this would be a really great alternative selection for $21 that you can get instead of paying for the original Oud for Greatness. Now, if you decide to get it down the line, you at least have something that you could try out, test it to see if you even like the scent DNA, instead of having to try it and blind buy it, and then you're out of $300. All right, so definitely give this one a try, blind buy it, add it to your cart next time you get in your haul, and see if this one is one that really suits you. All right, but if we recap it again, we got Havas Ice from Versace. If you want a dupe of Lattafa of Angel Share, you can go with this one here, Lattafa's Camera. If you want a Dior Sauvage Elixir clone from Middle East, boom, you can go with this one here, Lattafa Assad. If you want a mixture of both Bleu de Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent Y, 9 a.m. Dive by Afnan. And if you want a dupe of Oud for Greatness, you can go with this one here, Oud for Glory by Lattafa. There you go, guys. Those are 5 of the top Middle Eastern fragrances in my collection that I will always have. I'll always have a bottle of. Those are definitely 5 of the best common pulling Middle Eastern fragrances that I have. Some of the best note breakdowns, some of the best scent profiles that you can get on the market, and they won't cost you an arm and a leg. That whole collection right there probably will cost you $200 just about. And you'll have a great lineup. You'll have all your seasons, all your ducks crossed, all your T's in a row, and you'll smell great and you'll feel great. All right, that'll do it for today. Again, I appreciate all you guys who listen, tap in with the channel, continue to tune in with the channel. Comment down below your favorite Middle Eastern fragrances, your favorite Middle Eastern brands, maybe if I didn't mention it today, and I'll look into them. I'll also add them to the channel, okay? We'll see y'all on the next one. Much love.